Hello students, welcome to Shorup's classes. So in today's video, we'll continue our discussion on international economics. So as you know, we are talking about the Ricardian theory of comparative advantage. So in the last video, we talked about the relative price and production concept. Now in this video, what I'll do is I'll simply go into production under self-sufficiency. So in this video, we'll talk about what? The concept of production under self-sufficiency. So in this video we'll talk about production under self-sufficiency. So in this video we know, in the absence of trade, America will have to produce both the goods to meet domestic consumption needs, provided the relative price of cloth is exactly equal to its opportunity cost. Since opportunity cost equals to the ratio of unit labor requirement in cost, cloth and wine, under self-sufficiency, the relative price of two goods are equal to their relative labor requirement. So this is how prices are determined under self-sufficiency. So we know under self-sufficiency, which is also known as autarky. In autarky, what happens is that in the absence of trade, the relative price of cloth and wine, that is the relative price of two goods, so relative prices of two goods are what? It is equals to the relative unit labor requirement. Must be equals to unit of labor requirements. So in autarkic situation where there is self-sufficiency, we know the relative price of cloth or any other commodities equals to is opportunity cost. Since the opportunity cost is the ratio of, so labor requirement is nothing but opportunity cost. So when opportunity cost is equals to the relative prices of two goods, we say that the country has self-sufficiency. Now we'll come to the understanding of specialization and trade. So now we'll come to the understanding of specialization and trade. What is essential insight about international trade in Ricardo's theory? Following Ricardo, we assume that there are two countries, say America and Britain. So now we are considering two countries, say America and Britain. Now what happens is that each produces both the goods by using only one factor, that is labor. So there is only one factor, that is labor. So each produces both goods by producing what? By using one factor, which is labor. So now what we need to know is that the Britain's labor force is determined by L star, and its labor requirement in wine and cloth production is A star LW, A star small a star ALC respectively. So in Britain's labor force, now we'll be looking at Britain. So Britain's labor force is denoted by L star. So Britain's labor force is denoted by what? It is denoted by L star, and its labor requirement in wine and cloth production by, and its labor requirement in wine and cloth production is given by what? In wine production it is given by A star LW. It is given by A star LW, and cloth production it is given by A star LC. It is given by A star AW and A star LC. A star LW and A star LC respectively. Now we know, here we assume that the ratio of labor required to produce 1 unit of cloth to that required to produce 1 unit of wine is lower in America than in Britain. So we know what? We also assume, there is another assumption that we make. The assumption is what? That is, the ratio of labor required in the production of ratio of labor required in the production of to produce 1 unit of cloth to that required to produce a unit of wine is lower in America than it is in Britain. So the unit of wine that is required to produce the labor required in the production of 1 unit of cloth to that the required to produce 1 unit of wine is lower in America than it is in Britain. So this simply means the Americans' relative productivity in cloth is higher than it is in wine. So America's relative productivity is higher in cloth production than in wine. So higher in cloth production than in wine. So symbolically, if you write it, you will get the value. It is equals to ALC divided by ALW, that is opportunity cost of producing. LC is less than opportunity cost of LC in Britain, which is A star. I have already denoted it by L star, as you can see, is less than. So this will be 2 and ALC by A star LC is less than, if you simply take it here, there is the opportunity cost of producing cloth in USA as compared to Britain is less than so this will denote it by 3. Now what we know, now we will talk about the absolute advantage and comparative advantage. I hope you guys have understood until this. So if you still have any query or doubt, you can simply WhatsApp me on this number, which is 9836 793076, or you can also go to our website, which is www.showropsclasses.com. There you will find a lot of other videos like this, and you will also get to see a lot of other materials which are needed for different entrance exam. So thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day ahead.